All great romance anime start with a slow narration overlooking the city that quotes some Shakespearean poem, "To be or not to be, that is the question." This is one of those things I can never forget, like the day my parents died in that horrific accident, and the day I met you. I just spent the last few weeks watching a lot of romance anime, even fully covering the most popular romance anime of all time on my channel, Sword Art Online. Also, I could create a comprehensive guide to help you understand the complex subject of romance anime. The first thing you need to understand is the types of romance anime, since they're all created with different audiences in mind. Some for men, women with daddy issues, women with more daddy issues. But let's start with the vanilla tag. A romance between just two people, the way it was meant to be. No heartbreaks, no drama, just two people falling in love with each other. And if you enjoy these types of romances, there's only two of them, so unlucky. The lottery romance. Put all your bets on black and pray that the protagonist chooses your choice. Weird, that option shouldn't have been there. You often think that you're watching a vanilla anime until the author adds a bit of spice. Infidelity. The love dodecahedron, where multiple people fight over one, which is an analogy for how people in real life fight each other over which 2D drawing is better. Shh, don't worry, you were always the right option. The probably created by Makoto movies. Since these are all set on a timer, in less than 2 hours the protagonist must run away from home, fall in love with a complete stranger, just for them to disappear for 90% of the movie, which mirrors the real world, where you fall in love with someone and they disappear too. Masochist romance. Sometimes you just want to watch a romance anime that will tear you apart, make you cry, and leave you awake at night thinking, I wonder how much life insurance they had. If you enjoy these, other activities I recommend are majoring in journalism, ordering food from McDonald's and expecting it all to be there, and waiting for a good Overwatch update that doesn't come from a website with spice. Rom-coms. They funny. The BLTs. Surprisingly, most of these characters appear to be straight at the beginning, but then they aren't. These typically have two roles. You can either be a top or the one who takes it in the bottom. Yet, for some unknown reason, they almost always share one key detail with each other.
Well, the way you were looking at me made it clear you wanted to be touched.
But if I said it, get him out of my courtroom! Magical fantasy romances. For females, these often take place in a more dignified era, where they would fall in love with a high-ranking noble and become a lady. Just don't let the Snow White actress find out about these.
She's not gonna be safe with the prince, and she's not gonna be dreaming about true love.
For males, they take place in a more magical world, because they took the word fantasy literally. Unfortunately, this usually involves purchasing women from the supermarket. Hard to believe she's already 18. Romance anime created for a female audience, or romance that includes spice, while men just get edging. These involve a lot of female internal monologue, something that doesn't often appear in male romance anime for obvious reasons. When you close your eyes, you aren't really closing your eyes, you're just staring at your eyelids. And now you're breathing manually. These focus primarily on drama and the psychological progress of characters, which will always result in you hearing this exact dialogue. Can I be selfish? Just this once. I know I don't deserve it. These have far more emotional moments worked into the story to make you feel attached to the characters. Then you have male romance anime, which have more,
I don't mind stepping on you if you want me to.
yeah, they have more well-written characters. It's easy to tell if you're watching a family business anime because they're all made by the same person. Another tell sign is if the episode title includes No Way, and Love, and My Sister, but it only takes a single word to make it okay. Step, or non-existent. These all follow a pretty similar format. A bratty sister who lives with her older brother, and just when they look like they're growing closer as siblings, bam, they're married. But what can you say? He's just a family guy. Now for character creation. Lead male characters in a male romance follow a simple format. Grab this base template, then do nothing else. For their personality, you have a few options. He can be a pervert who can't talk to women, a loner who can't talk to women, or the coolest person ever who can't talk to women. But above all, he must fear physical contact from women.
I love you, please marry me.
Stop, why do you want to sleep with me? I hate that. Lead men in romance anime for women, on the other hand, are only slightly different.
I get turned on by little elementary school girls. That's cool.
Well, at least he's not a groomer. The design for these men are fairly simple. First, give them this exact body build. Then, give them a sharp jawline, pretty face, and hair that goes down to this exact length. The personality is typically the classic cold, distant man that nobody can get with. And although he may be rich, 6 foot, and the perfect specimen, he's a broken man that needs some regular Starbucks-loving woman like you to fix him. And you'll be happy to hear that these men actually exist. But they're all gay. Lead women in romance anime for men all have one thing in common: mental disabilities. Finally, some realism. Maybe she talks to imaginary friends, maybe she's Helen Keller, or maybe she smokes whatever Nagisa was on. Needless to say, if she ain't collecting a disability check from the government each month, I don't want her. They also come with some built-in spice, which is being abusive, because if I don't come home from a date looking like this, I don't want her. Now, unlike women, notice how we don't say, I can fix them. That's because there's nothing to fix. And you'll be happy to hear that these women actually exist, but they're all in insane asylums. Lead women in romance anime for women, on the other hand, are a more realistic portrayal. They have brown hair, no huge boobs, and no bitches. Female self-inserts are hard-working women with an optimistic front and definitely not looking for no man, but behind their optimistic mask is a lot of hidden trauma. Whoa, settle down, don't go trauma dumping on me. Luckily, to make up for this, they're all empaths.
でもそんな冷たい言葉を言いながらどこか寂しげな顔をしてる。
What the hell does that mean?
Since characters need trauma, mangakas have no real option but to kill their loving mother, leaving their father no option but to go work overseas forever. I don't think I've seen people avoid child support like this since the Rat Hair Pirates. Just remember, if you can't get into a good relationship, blame your parents for not dying in a tragic accident. If you work for Child Protective Services, you may be wondering, how does this minor live alone? Don't worry, this is why they have Little Sister. Now, these creatures are what I like to call special grade curses. They're either role-playing, stupid, or really obsessed with their brother. Either way, they'll have the most amount of dojins for some reason. The side characters may include, but are not limited to, the loud hot-headed best friend who gets no women and is always voiced by the same person in the dub.
I'll bet she's really a guy in a dress.
Bratty rich woman, student body president, the transfer student, usually the main character, the very hot teacher, don't worry, it's not grooming if they're hot, glasses equals intelligence, the emotionless one, the popular girl, the person the protagonist wanted to date at the beginning, she doesn't win, and the happy upbeat one who's probably the childhood friend, they don't win either. But the difference is, they deserve it for having that childhood friend haircut. Since 90% of romance anime take place in a school setting, they often follow a similar format for their episodes. These situations are meant to be relatable to students in Japan, but if these took place in America, we would have sharing a romantic school lunch together, fighting off the where my hug at guy, and having your first kiss during a school shooter drill. However, romance anime have more exciting episodes, like the umbrella episode. In Japan, girls may forget their umbrella on purpose in hopes that their crush will share his umbrella with them, because this is seen as a sign that they might start dating soon. In America, the women forget Plan B on purpose, which is a sign they might start dating soon. The sick episode, where someone catches a cold, but instead of a cold, it's more like stage 4 cancer. The summer festival episode, a time to get dressed up, get lost for half the episode, and get your confession interrupted by fire. This is about when episode 7 hits, where all anime collectively decide,
let's go to the beach. Let's go swimming.
Not to be confused with the pool episode. Either way, at these locations, someone has to be saved from being hit on, or someone must drown due to a cramp. But they must be saved by their love interest from this exact camera angle. The Stuck Step Bro episode. While in the storage room, the author adds a bit of spice. A magical force traps them inside, with the only way for the door to open being to get in this exact position. Valentine's Day, a magical time where all happy people get taxed. But in anime, it's a time for the girl to somehow get seriously injured making chocolate. The school fair episode, which has 2 different options, either doing a maid cafe or doing a play, usually Romeo and Juliet. And Tree. The Hot Spring episode, where the whole episode is a build-up to the moment where somebody walks into the wrong room. You of course have the Christmas, Shrine, Study Group, Bonfire, and Career Path episode, but how could you forget the episode with the most spice? The Train Molester episode. Romance anime are filled with tropes, with one of the most common being the protagonist meeting someone who will totally not be a love interest in the past that they just can't forget. Like, dude, get over it, you were like 5. But if I was still obsessed with a 5, get him out of my courtroom! The classic walking in on somebody, because the one thing Japan doesn't have are locks, knocking, and HR departments. The gaslighting a woman into dating you by catching her off guard technique. A quick time event that, if successful, makes their heart beat so loudly you would think that they're going into cardiac arrest. Or gear 5th. Just don't mess it up. However, there are 2 tropes that will be in all romance anime without fail: accidents and misunderstandings. Jumping over a fence? Sure would be a shame if you landed in this exact position. Oh no, you tripped on the air and fell into your love interest. This is so awkward. Meanwhile, the only accident that I've been in with a woman is a car accident. Misunderstandings always happen due to somebody being dense, a lack of communication, or because some idiot eavesdrops on a conversation like they're playing Assassin's Creed. Now, this whole situation could be solved in one easy step: break up. Or talking it through, I guess. However, the worst trope in all of anime is when someone interrupts a romantic moment that has been built up for so long. Do you know how excited I was for those 2 PNGs to kiss? The joy of these are the journey, not the destination, which is why things such as holding hands is so climatic. And although each relationship may advance at different speeds, they have similar steps, unless they're whatever the hell domestic girlfriend was. Step 1. First impressions are crucial to set up a healthy relationship, which is why they begin absolutely hating each other, most likely because of a misunderstanding due to both of them being stupid. This is how to know who will end up together because of a little thing I call skill-based matchmaking. This is to keep the viewer engaged by adding a bit of spice. Okay, maybe a little less. From here, it either goes one of 2 routes. Either they start dating right away, or they don't. Either way, it doesn't change how the relationship advances unless they get laid by episode 7. Step 2, the cuckening. Japanese people like being cucked. It's just simple science. This is why they add spice, making more people fall in love with the protagonist just so they can turn them down. Step 3, the confession. It's about to happen. They've shown each other their vulnerabilities and are finally about to confess.
Hello? What happened to step 4?
Didn't you just have a lovely time? And with that, the romance anime is now over.
What do you mean it's over? Do they get married? Have children? Are they happy?
Ooh, unluckily for you, you decided to watch a 12-episode romance anime that aired almost 10 years ago with no chance of a second season. Now you're left reading fan fictions, maybe reading the manga that's still going. Just talk, you bitch! And you'll go to sleep like you do every night, alone and disappointed. On the bright side, Maid-sama Ouran High School Host Club just got renewed for a second season. Look at you having hope. Stop doing that. Hello, Judge Lunar here. Click here to check out my second channel. Click here to check out the recommended video, and click here to check out the most recent video. And if you're wondering why I'm so slow, I don't know, slower than turtle sex, I guess.